recovering fairly well, I see.
Yeah. Best I can after an encounter like that.
Yeah, same.
Back in these woods again, huh?
Yeah.
Only now there's a different air to them. You feel it too?
Oh yeah.
Archon Gaedon, in his presence, the control over these woods are no more.
Indeed.
He's but a crystal. You were right about the silver. It has no influence over me.
Good. We should have
Rats
bound
trapped.
the other one that way.
Huh?
We should have bound the other one that way to begin with.
Indeed.
Didn't have time.
Hal was a fool not doing that. Never have held any sort of soul. Not the way he wanted it to.
Not a Wendigo's anyway.
No. It would have ended up just like me. Speaking of what you did back there, it was a good shot. Saved my life.
He tipped me off. He kept rambling on about how important both of those crystals were. Figured I'd remove one for him.
Once again, Rat's arrogance cost him. Permanently this time.
Typical. Oh well. Now that Dickhead's gone, we can start making progress.
Indeed. I must talk to you about that soon. First, I have a need to go speak to Rain.
Very well.
There's a reason why I requested we meet in these woods.
Still holds energy.
Heavy energy.
Not rats anymore, but it's still here.
Evil spirits still have lurked and walked these woods for eons.
Hopefully now they can be replaced with ones that are more to our liking.
Hopefully Rain can maybe quell their hate and hunger for blood a bit. You know, maybe talk him down. There's no alphas now but him. Perhaps Schwartz could be our bridge between human and Wendigo. He is a hybrid.
I hope so.
Yes, well...
I know they've been hunting down a lot of the more feral ones. We shouldn't have much more work ahead of us as far as they go.
Good. Unless Rat actually did succeed, as you said, and revived a few.
We'll have Schwartz helping us out.
Indeed.
Maybe not physically, but he's out there, helping
Yep.
to eradicate them, just as we are.
Well, I'm going to go to a certain stump you've come to be accustomed with. Are you going to be fine by yourself for a little bit?
Now that we don't have to worry, watch our backs all the time. Only people I gotta worry about, any random hikers that are scared off by a 4-inch blade. Because this would give them a heart attack.
Quite literally. Guess you could say you gave Rat a heart attack, huh?
Oh yeah, wasn't expecting that one.
I'm gonna head over there and see if I can't contact the new Alpha.
Right. Let me know how that goes. I'll watch our stuff.
Sounds good.
Thank God for open carry, right?
Amen. Which reminds me, do you want a weapon? Or are you good with that?
I'm good with this.
I'll be back. Hope this works. I really hope this works. Come on, John. Come through. This is no part of the spirit realm I recognize. John! Rain! Are you there? John! Been a wild old friend.
Are you surprised to see me? I mean, I should look at least a little bit like I should.
Rain. Not that I'm offended by your presence, but where's John?
See, there's quite a bit more to that little fusion than I've told you. See, well, for starters, you and Ryan did quite well defeating Rat and Onaga. They were my responsibility, and I failed that task.
More secrets, though. You know I don't much care for those. What are you talking about?
That one's not as important anymore.
Anymore?
I mean, you did deal with the two of them, but on a different note, it's always been me you've been talking to.
What?
Jonathan Powell isn't exactly someone you would want to speak with. See, you've progressed a lot since our last visit with each other, and I feel like it's a little bit time for you to know. See, because the way it works is the world has its own unique harmony. Everything that is put there for a reason. So things that come together have a purpose together. That's innately false. Not everything is what it should be. Not everything has its own connection to another thing. For example, when Powell fused my body to John's, it sort of had an irreversible effect on him. And something that can't quite be reversed.
Spirit realm stuff. I don't entirely understand it. I don't understand a lot of what's happening.
It's really quiet. Repeat it.
It was?
Yeah, you need to be louder.
Okay. I don't really get this spirit realm stuff, Rain. But are you saying John is irreversibly damaged by play?
More or less. Some would consider the kind of way that John is to be a bit different, extreme. For now, I'm holding him back with my powers, all while, I've been doing everything else to help you on your mission, help Ryan with his, and fight, and when I helped fight Rat and Onaga and all of that, I was also holding back John, because if he were to get out for
What? Rain.
I'm sorry.
What were you saying?
I shouldn't have drifted. It's not important. For what's important for right now is that I am holding him back.
Is this something we should prepare for?
See, when I first fused with John, there was complications. There was a conflict, but because it's been so long since I was introduced to him, I've since overcome that challenge. I've since overcome that complication. So it shouldn't be something you have to concern yourself with. After all, if it were to pop up, you and Ryan did defeat Rat and Onaga. So, it should be something you could most likely handle.
So you got more faith in us now, huh? You know, speaking of John, I can feel Powell's spirit inside the crystal struggling against Rat's attempts to possess me. Ryan put an end to that, however. He destroyed the crystal. And with it, I'm afraid, Powell's spirit. I feel like he could have been redeemable in the end.
I'm not so sure he's gone.
What do you mean?
See, Powell is an interesting human. He did a lot of research on Wendigo lore, and no doubt one of those that he probably stumbled upon was the appearance of the spirit realm. He is also, from my knowledge, the only human to escape death via the Ankh.
It's true.
Now, it's very likely that when the crystal was destroyed, he went and took residence within the spirit realm. And all these thousands of years of my life and research, no human that I know of should be able to gain access to that realm. But, as previously stated, this is Powell we're talking about. I wouldn't be too surprised if his spirit was strong enough to get pulled into it. However unlikely that may or may not be. However, on another note, since when did redemption become something you think about?
I've learned a lot from you and Ryan. I've learned a lot from you two over our travels. And you've saved my life twice now.
Well, with all the things that you put a stop to, consider Steven. You stopped Powell, his endless ambitions, whether he was corrupt in the beginning, the end, doesn't matter. Hopefully he may be of assistance to us in the future, if anything were to happen. Put an end to Onaga, his clone, his corrupt way of experimentations and scientific efforts. And in the end also redeeming your, exacting revenge, as much as I dislike that word, for your sister, putting her to rest, and as well as putting an end to Rats, the absolute largest thorn in this whole operation. Pain in my ass for years and years. And now that he's gone, everything should be quiet. And you've become far more like your father than I think you realize through all of this.
I don't quite think I fill my father's shoes. But if you think I do, then that gives me hope to further help assure that the future is secure.
Well, at the time I was still a Wendigo. I knew him better than anyone. So believe me when I say that.
Thank you.
There is more to you being akin to your dad than just your character. After all, I believe the crystal, the other one you possess, should actually obtain the remains of Rat's soul. May even allow you to call upon his powers for a short time, but you'll have to be careful. Using it in quick succession may give Rat the power and ability to take over your body once again. Though, not sure how much he wants that anymore with him being defeated again. So it would take time for you to get used to it before using it more freely.
Speaking of Rats, he mentioned that I am a descendant of his. He lived off the hatred for me being alive, while he has to live constantly cursed and broken in an endless hunger Apparently, blood relation makes Wendigo possession easier, according to him.
That would actually make sense then. If you truly are a descendant of rats and share similar blood to him, then using the crystal should be a lot easier and a lot more safe than it would be if he was just some random ass Wendigo. That would also explain how John changed. I share no blood with Powell's line. Not to mention John being massacred before being forced into me.
It does make sense. Although, are you saying that I have the power equal to a Wendigo, similar to you?
Sort of.
Sort of.
It'll only work, as stated before, you'll only be able to use it in short bursts with the risk of, because you'll have the risk of rat taking over your body. Rat and Onaga were truly evil Wendigos. Giving them the opportunity to take you over, they most likely will. So, as stated, you'll need to be very careful about it. However, not all Wendigos, as you've come to learn, are evil. There are tons out there that are just hiding, being silent, that possibly just want to be left alone.
So you're saying there's another approach to be taken?
I want you to be like your father. I want you to hunt, or to seek out Wendigos, not for hunting them, but to research them, to learn about them, and to proceed to take care of them as well.
To do what I originally set out to do many years ago. To prevent other Wendigos like rats and Onaga from rising and becoming another threat that we don't need.
Yeah. Now, I have one more thing to give to you. There's no special powers, no special anything really. It's the last gift, it's the only gift Powell ever gave to John.
This was John's when he was younger.
Take it as a token of trust, if you will. When the other Wendigos should know what it means.
A token of passing. Of sorts.
You could say that.
Let's see.
Powell? I should mention, I was able to salvage parts of Powell's soul when the crystal was broken. Because in the last few moments before then, I guess he was trying to help you in controlling Rat.
Chad, I'm amazed at how far you've come since we got lost in the woods.
Guess you're gonna get another chance after all, Clay.
On this end. No longer this time.
You're free now. Rat can no longer corrupt you. Nor the crystal.
This is so. I can finally stop chasing all those ends now. I spent my whole life running from this. But now that I'm here, I don't know what I was so afraid of.
Glad to know being dead isn't so bad after all, huh?
That's all I wanted years ago.
Rain, I've never been able to tell you this before, but thanks for keeping my son in check. Truly. I'm glad something good came from that mad experiment. Unfortunately, my son was never going to be able to experience a normal existence, fused or not.
In a way, Powell, I guess you did correct yourself from killing me by fusing me to your son and bringing me back into this world.
Chad, this is gonna be the last time we talk for another lifetime. One piece of advice I want to leave you before I go. is to always ask yourself whether or not you should do something. I spent so much time fussing over what I could do, I never once asked myself what I should do. And you know how that ended. What I did.
I'll keep that in mind, old friend. You get some rest. You need it.
He will rest. In the end, he's just one more spirit freed from Rat's hunger. You know, early on, you and him were fairly similar. Whereas Rat gave in to his ego and hate and arrogance, you overcame that. You encountered challenges that pushed you to the end where you almost fell, but you still came back from them. Such as Elise. You've grown.
Thank you. I have but one more request to make. There is another spirit I'd like to contact while I'm on this line.
Of course.
Thank you.
But don't stray too long. After all, you wouldn't want to become a permanent resident of this realm.
Elise, if you can hear me, I'm sorry I failed you. I should have been there to prevent you from falling to Wendigo psychosis. I wasn't there to save you. And I failed you. And for that, truly am sorry. Elise, I've put an end to Onaga. I've made my mistakes right. I killed the thing that killed you. There's no taking back my errors and my mishaps for you. I do not know if you can hear me. I can, however, repair the damages and the mistakes I've already done, and prevent them from happening in the future. I can even save my own sister. Look, I don't know if I can truly pull through what you and Rain and Powell believe in me to do. I don't know if I can ever pull through. At least I didn't one time. Now I know that one day I will see you again. And even though that day might not be today, it will be someday. You've been put to rest, my sister. You are no more pain, no more agony. Rest in peace, Elise. And thank you, John. Sorry. Rain. And Powell. I look forward to our next meeting. You can not feel pain in the spirit realm. Well, who would have guessed? Let's see what this power can truly do. Now I know how you feel, right? Ryan,
How'd it go?
interesting, I must say. I don't know if I can be angry. Tell me, did you know Dr. Jonathan Schwartz isn't who he says he is?
Yes.
Did you know that it's been rain the whole time?
Yes. Yes, I have.
And you kept it from me.
You didn't trust Wendigos. If you'd known that we were talking to Rain the whole time,
I would never have worked with them. I would have plugged them.
trust me, you don't want to meet the real Schwartz. He's not one to be reasoned with.
Crazed psychopath.
The byproduct of Wendigo experimentation. And coming that close to death for so long, the brain deteriorates.
Turns one mad, insane,
It can.
bloodthirsty.
It can. It doesn't always. But in Schwartz's case, unfortunately, he drew the short end of the stick. Fortunately, he has Rain as a backbone, helping keep him stable.
Yeah. Rain will, I trust, be able to keep that war at bay.
Easily.
If it's so easy for him to take mortals, Schwartz should be no problem. The real Schwartz. Which reminds me, I told him I don't want to refer to him as a Wendigo, a monster. We've known him as Dr. Jonathan Schwartz the whole time. He'll remain that way.
I don't.
Only Jonathan Rain Schwartz.
I think Rain would appreciate that.
All he's ever wanted was to be mortal. Normal.
To learn.
To learn. To explore. I think it's high time he gets that. In the coming months, I will relieve him of all Wendigo hunter duties. Apart from the few occasional appearances to quell the thirst of a few rising alphas.
Let's hope not, but you never know.
Which reminds me. Rat
Indeed.
told me what I must do.
Okay.
As I share ancestral blood with him, I can't let anyone else hold on to it.
Makes sense.
Because if I do, there's a higher chance that he can possess them from this. Even if they're weaker in soul.
even half of him at full strength is a threat to be wary of.
We can't ever let him walk the earth again. Which reminds me, a few days ago, let me cut that. Which reminds me, half a year ago, Powell's whole objective was to merge myself and Rat's soul into that crystal that you so kindly destroyed. And, well, his whole objective when doing that was to basically become Schwartz. Only harness the power of this.
And not
At
go
will.
mad in the process.
Not have to deal with all the crazy power and hunger of a Wendigo.
But what you were saying with can't let anyone else hold on to it. So I can't use him as an ornament like I did Powell.
No. I'm sorry, I know it must really suck, but
I was half hoping.
maybe we could go back to that lake, find the pieces, put it back together, be good as new. Put it on.
I
Little
might.
hood ornament, maybe, huh?
We'll see.
This reminds me. I guess it better if I just show you. Come. We have a few things to be done.
Very well.
Before we're done here.
It really is nice for transporting this thing. It's so much lighter with it out.
Yeah, it's really helped. Shame you never got to use the Guandawan rat, huh?
It takes too long to assemble.
Yeah. And time just was not in our favor that day.
Besides, when stealth is of the essence, this is not the weapon you want in hand.
Yes.
The stump. Still destroyed.
Yeah. A byproduct. Hey, Ryan, do me a favor. Would you mind moving that stump for me? Do a bit of looking in this book.
That's in there pretty good.
Oh, was that?
It's in there pretty good. It's still got some roots going through.
Here, let me.
Go for it. Impressive. Doing some strength training?
Correction. No, I was telling you about Powell?
Yeah. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Much like what Powell was trying to accomplish, we accomplished by accident. As I'm bound to him by ancestral blood, I can call on his strength whenever I need.
Really?
With a limit.
Of course. I wouldn't do it too often.
In effect, I've almost become the very thing that I once despised.
It's useful, isn't it?
Very. And I understand why Schwartz calls on Rain so much. It's very helpful.
It is. Like a constant adrenaline surge on steroids.
It is. Which reminds me, when I was possessed, when I was taken over by Rat,
Yeah.
there was I finally understood what it meant to be a Wendigo. What they go through, the pain, the suffering, the horror they experience. It was a constant conflict inside. I felt it in Rat. It was little, but it was there. He was at war with himself, with something.
Rain has showed me before. Schwartz, in our training, has allowed me to call on his strength a couple times. I can't do it at will. I need Schwartz's permission, obviously. But
So Rain has guided your footsteps before.
once or twice, just to know what it's like. Being a Wendigo is not fun.
How come he didn't guide you that day with Lise?
I feel like it was a test. He knew I could do it. Or he thought I could. That's why I went off and trained for so long afterwards. I failed him. After all we'd gone through. I was angry at myself.
It's not your fault. She was turned. It was too late for her. Which reminds me, I guess I should tell you. Elise has been coming to me in dreams. In the spirit realm. She came to me. A voice. When I died from that poison all those months ago, she was there. Without her being there, without that incident happening that day, it never would have happened. She wouldn't have been there to help give the ideas that she did that led to Rat's ultimate demise.
good to have a second mind to bounce ideas off of.
It is. Which reminds me, Howell's book. Howell was an interesting figure in general, but he said something once. That all things in the past should be left to rest. That the Wendigo of Ratanam-Gaedon, as I've said, must be put to rest. Which reminds me. Hold that for a sec, will you?
Very well.
My father's blade, broken, shattered, but still holding strong. It's fought its final battle. Elise. I no longer need a tag to remember her by. I have her with me. All the time. Ricky. We no longer have any sort of proof or evidence of him. But we do have something. We have his memory. And that brings me to Schwartz. Schwartz gave me this. Along with this obsidian. He gave me something that Jonathan, the real Jonathan, once found dear to his heart. Something Dr. Powell gave him.
Turtle.
A turtle. I think you know what's going to be done. You see, it's time we let everything that's fallen be put to rest. That being said, the people we've lost will be put to rest today. Finally.
We've won. They deserve peace.
Just gonna put that back. Say that again.
We've won. They deserve peace.
Peace. Is what they will get.
And
This. Rain forgives Powell. A little bit. In that last second before Powell was destroyed, Rain confirmed something. Powell was trying. He was trying to make amends for what he did. So that means this will be my new blade. I'll coat it in silver. No longer will Powell's memory be coded in hate, anger, and death. It will be coded for the only thing he should be remembered for: assisting in taking down an alpha. That is all. That brings me to... Alright, go. That brings me to this. I want you to hold on to it. It's the same rock I've been using to contact rain. I won't need it anymore.
I saw how the Wendigos used obsidian. Onarga didn't do it quite right, but the idea of combining the two is something that needs looked into, I think.
And that will be something that you look into. You will be the new main leader of the new order of Wendigo hunters. This new order, however, will not be focused on solely killing Wendigos. Their main objective will be what we started out to do years ago. Research, understand, if necessary, kill, of course. There will still be some out there that's like Rat or Naga. And if they need to be killed, they will. I think that friendship and bonds to be made and repaired with that species is more important than slaughtering a whole race. Schwartz once told me that to say all Wendigos are the same is just racist.
Sounds like something he'd say. Unfortunately, I don't think much will conform to our cause and see the benefit for them, but...
And then, in that case, they'll have to be eliminated. And we'll provide the proper training to our recruits. But there will be some that could conform to it.
let's hope.
Which brings me to me. Actually, ask me where I'm gonna go. What of me?
Such tremendous responsibility you're leaving on me. What of you? Where will you be?
I have a date with the detective, Vanessa Collins. A long overdue one at that. After that, I don't know where I'll go. I'll still be overseeing the order, of course.
Fair enough.
And if I'm needed for another event like what's happened, I will be called on. I'll make appearances here and there. But I think I'm going to station myself in old rainy Ireland. How's my accent working out? Needs improvement?
Better than I was doing for Onaga, I'll say that.
You had a big risk there, man. You played it well.
Paid off.
You did. Now, let us.
Indeed.
Brothers.
Hunters.
Come.
Farewell, Elise. Book. Schwartz.
Powell.
Judge Father. I don't know your name, but rest in peace anyway, I guess.
James.
James. Thank you. James.
Rest in peace. Shall we get out of these cursed woods once and for all, then?
Indeed. Before something bad happens again.
I don't think something bad will be happening for a long while. But you never know, huh?
Indeed. Never do.
Goodbye, rat.
Indeed. Just be careful not to break that crystal.
Of course not. The crystal stays with me. Until death.
Hate to think what would happen.
Well, if it gives you any sort of reassurance, it's bound to Wendigo bone and silver. Multiple silver.
That should hold him.
Indeed. Let us be free.
Indeed. What I need after this is a long vacation. Cuba.
Come visit me in Ireland.
Yeah, maybe I will. Germany or something.
I'll have a trip to the Europe. With spring shorts.
If you'll be willing to join us.
Yeah. I don't be needing that anymore. We're free after all.
Alright, he's fine on me. Good for carrying big stabby.
It's a good thing I remembered. Can't leave this here without taking the phone. Wonder how that detective's doing. Couldn't hurt to give her a call and maybe may as well.
Vanessa speaking.
Guess who?
Chad? Where are you?
They are dead, Vanessa.
Who is?
Both the Wendigo that killed Elise, that apparently went by the name of Onaga, and Ratinan Gaedon has been destroyed. Well, pretty much destroyed. But they're no longer ever going to put any harm in our futures ever again.
So it's over.
We almost didn't.
What do you mean? Chad.
After we thought he was dead, I put the crystal Powell had around my neck. Rat possessed me, and he took me over. He regained his full physical form through and through. Apparently, he's my ancestor. We share blood. It really took all of us working together to destroy him.
Rat used the crystal similar to how Powell wanted to, but only he succeeded? How are you freed?
Oh, a combination of things, actually. John, Rain, Elise, Dr. Powell.
Are you certain your mind wasn't playing tricks on you, Chad?
Certain. Elise has guided me more than once, actually. She even told me how proud she was to have you as her mentor in the Bureau, in the Force. As for Powell, well, part of his soul was destroyed, actually. It was trapped in the crystal, and Rat was quite literally devouring him from the inside. he was basically using Powell to feed his temporary need for a physical body. That is until he inhabited me. That's all in the past now, though. Ryan saw to that. We all did it, really. It was a group effort. But Powell, in those last moments before his soul was destroyed, he was helping me. I could feel it. I feel like he was making amends for his past mistakes against Rat. Matter of fact, I know he was.
What about all the people he's killed? Where's the excuse and byproduct in that?
He's at peace now. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But in the past few seconds of his existence, they weren't clouded in the corruption that plagued him for, I'd like to say, his whole life. It was instead in peace and even slight heroism, I would say. It doesn't excuse what he's done, but he did help to fight Rat. He did save me.
You were brave, you know. Fighting them like that. When I first met you, I thought you knew more than as a drunk.
And now?
Now, I still think you drink a bit sometimes.
What can I say?
I also understand you better. But that doesn't excuse the factual evidence.
Thank you, Detective Collins. But it was a team effort. I only wish the casualties had been less.
Sometimes in the field, you have to make tough decisions, I've told you. Between death for one or disaster for all.
I remember. You told me that when we met. Thank you for all you've done, Vanessa. Truly. We couldn't have gotten anywhere near close to doing this without you. As I said, without everyone. You were a big key player in this.
Thank you as well.
You know, I guess I should inform you, the remaining crystal from Ratanangedon, it houses his soul. Part of it. Fractured. Useless. Weakened. We couldn't destroy it, because if we destroyed it, then he would most likely become ethereal again, and he'd be once again free. Instead, I spoke to John. I'm now able to harness the true strength of a Wendigo. Similar to how Powell wanted to do it all those months ago. Except this actually succeeded. In a really inadvertent way. An unintentional way, mind you. But in effect, I guess you could say I've become the very thing that I once swore to destroy. As I once hated.
So you're telling me that the Wendigo's dead, but you can harness his power and use it at your disposal?
Yes. I guess you could say I am, in a way, Rat. But also not.
What if it does to you like it did to Powell? That's dangerous. I can't lose you to the same corruption.
I only call on it when needed. You won't have to worry about corruption or anything crazy like that, Vanessa. I intend on only using it for good and only using it for those times when I truly need it. Or maybe when I'm just bored. Me and Schwartz are gonna have to go one-on-one now.
Chad, I'll trust you on this. Like I have everything else. Just please don't overdo it.
But how about we meet up at my place tonight? Have dinner?
5:30.
A few drinks. You know, we can see each other. You're no longer in danger from Rat.
Classy. Are you bribing me?
What can I say? I'm a sucker for the law.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you soon, beautiful. Goodbye, Vanessa. Well, that went better than I thought. Ryan's never gonna believe this. Thank you again, Schwartz. The hunt will never die. Only the will to keep fighting. Goodbye, friends. Never tried this before, but if it works with everyone else. Dad. You can hear me. You're avenged. And everyone that killed you, everyone that had a part in destroying you is no longer around. I wasn't able to save Elise, but I am able to save the rest of humanity from all of the suffering and horrors that Wendigos can cause. But I will also embrace everything that you once sought. Peace between Wendigos and humans. Dad. I understand. Thank you. Be at peace. I have a date with a detective.